Next up is Dan Amato from Digger's Realm.
How are you guys doing today? Thanks for coming out, and I'd like to thank Save Shenandoah for inviting us all here today. I'd like to address something first of all. We've caught a lot of flack that we're outsiders coming into your town and telling you what to do. But there's nothing further from the truth with that. What we're here today is just to provide information to you so that you can stand up for your community. I'm not here to tell you how to stand up for your community. You have to do that yourself. I'll start with a brief stance on immigration and why we have immigration in this country. We have immigration in this country for the benefit of the United States. It is not for the benefit of the immigrants coming here.
That's right.
Yes.
They benefit. Yes, they benefit from it. But it is always, keep in your mind, in the interest of the citizens of the United States. Alright, now I've got 5 issues that I'd like to address today. First of all, I'd like to ask for a show of hands of any veterans in the crowd. How many vets do we have here today? I'm a veteran myself. Joe Miller's a veteran. Jarhead over there. I'm a squid. I was in the U.S. Navy. To you I say, your service is not over. You served your country as a whole, but now it is time for you to help serve your community as well and guide them. Your leadership and experience are needed in organizing, launching, and guiding these initiatives I'm going to mention. Please get with Joe Miller over here after the event so that he can help organize you together. In the Navy, I spent a lot of time standing watch. Your presence is now requested on the quarterdeck. First of all, I'd like to address the crime watch. For the vets, your experience comes into play. Teach the community what you know about standing watch. Teach them how to organize and go through and contact local law enforcement when they notice things. You have to remove crime from your community in order for it to have a chance to rebuild. People do not want to set up a business or live in a community where crime is rampant or where, people are tagging walls with graffiti. And drugs. Definitely. Second thing, 287G. A lot of you don't know what this is, so I'll give you a basic overview. What happens is, whenever somebody is arrested, if they are not a United States citizen, they will be reported to ICE to check their legal status. If they are a violent criminal, ICE will put a detainer on them. So when they serve their sentence, they are not released back into the community, but are deported. Now, in order to get this implemented, you have got to contact your sheriff and demand that he take action. All he has to do is call and contact the Department of Homeland Security and ask to make a memorandum of agreement with them. They will then have local law enforcement here go to approximately 4 to 5 weeks of training with federal law enforcement officials. Now, they aren't going to be going on the street when they come back and just randomly pulling people over and throwing them out of the country. Okay, that's false. What they will do is just screen the people that are currently in jail for violent crimes. Okay, the third topic I'd like to discuss is what's called E-Verify. E-Verify is what you can demand from businesses in your area. If you have a business yourself or you know of businesses in this area, tell them to get with the E-Verify program. It's free. It takes a minute when they have a new employee. Basically what happens is you sign up on the Department of Homeland Security website. I think it's dhs.gov/e-verify. It takes you a couple minutes. As an employer, you get an account there. A new employee comes in, you fill out their information on the website, it goes through. That information is not stored on a database. There's a lot of groups out there claiming this is a privacy concern. Basically what this does, it checks the name and social security number. Do they match? It's a yes or no. Do they match? Yes, they match. it comes back, and whether they're in the country legally or not, if they've been facing deportation, it's going to come back and say, well, you know, it's going to tell you that they're not a legal worker in this country. What this does is cracks down on the magnet that is drawing illegal immigrants to this country. The number one magnet is jobs. Without them able to get a job, they would not come here. Number 4, you must attend Crime Watch meetings and council meetings. I believe your next council meeting is October 20th in a few days. You must go there and demand. They're going to be voting on whether you can even have a crime watch. Okay? Now that is their right as council members to make that determination. But I can't see how any council that stands up for their community could say, no, you can't have a crime watch. You can't go down the street and say, hey, there's somebody dealing drugs and call the police. Okay? We're not asking for a crime watch anywhere in this country where people just randomly go up and start arresting people themselves. I mean, you can always do that. You can do a citizen's arrest. But that's not what the crime watch is about. We're not telling you to go out there and make citizens arrests. We're telling you to go out there and start cleaning up the community. Places that you notice where there's always somebody hanging out on a corner dealing drugs. Call it in. Local law enforcement has to work with a crime watch. Crime Watch cannot do it alone. So you need to go to your city council meetings and demand that not only do you have a crime watch, but that local law enforcement works with it. And the 5th and final thing that I'd like to mention is your local elections and general elections. If your leaders aren't doing what you want, you need to identify them and either get rid of them or demand change from what they're doing. If they're just sitting there on a throne and they, randomly pass rules here and there, but they don't listen to anybody, they are not representing you, so why are they there? Now, I'm not saying the Shenandoah City Council is bad. I don't know them. All I'm saying is if they aren't doing their job, this is for anywhere in the country, not just Shenandoah. If they're not doing their job, why are you re-electing them? And why are you letting them stay there? You should be telling everybody in your community, we need to get rid of this bum and get somebody in here who's listening to us.
Our mayor.
Your mayor. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm an outsider. You guys could make your own call on that. When they waver from that you demand, you need to stand up and end it. All right? I'm not going to go on illegal immigration. I cover illegal immigration every day. I've been covering illegal immigration for 6 years. I used to live in California. My kids' 3rd grade class had 42 kids in it. And half of them were probably illegal for one teacher. Okay? So I've lived in occupied territory. It was Northern California, it wasn't Southern. I imagine Southern's probably worse. But that's what you do not want to end up to your community, in your community here. So I'm telling you now, you guys need to get together and organize. One other thing that is going to happen, MALDEF and LULAC have made your town a big bullseye for racism. They're coming here and calling you racist over an incident that happened in July. This incident hasn't even gone to trial. So nobody knows what the outcome is, but you know what? You're all racists. They've come here and told you you're all racist. They have come into your town and said that. We were invited into your town today just to talk and give you some information. They came here of their own accord and told you you're racist. What's going to happen in the spring when this trial goes? They will be busing people in here, as they did for the Unity rally back on August 30th. They're going to make it an OJ thing. They bused them people in here for the Unity rally from as far away as Chicago. They're going to be busing people in from Chicago. They're going to be busing people in from Philadelphia. They'll be busing people in from New York. to march through your streets, call you racist, and if these boys are not convicted in the end, you can imagine what's going to happen.
They'll be right because they didn't get their way.
So in closing, I'd just like to tell you today, you all are in the right on this issue, and do not let anyone tell you otherwise. This is your community. You can demand what you want from your community. You don't have to put up with it anymore. No to sanctuary cities. No to amnesty. And no to continued injustice that Americans are being forced to accept. Thank you.